Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur until they realize what it really takes. The sleepless nights, the financial stress, the self-doubt that creeps in when things don't go as planned. Let's be real, entrepreneurship isn't for the weak. And it's just not about making money and living a dream. It's about learning to thrive in uncertainty, pushing through rejection, and showing up even when you feel like giving up. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stuck, or questioned if you are even built for this, trust me, you're not alone. But here's the truth. The struggle is part of the process. And if you can push through the hard seasons, what's waiting for you on the other side is greater than you ever imagined. I'm a living testimony. Let's talk about the challenges that we face as entrepreneurs, and more importantly, how we overcome them. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below. Drop a comment down below if you've ever faced struggles in business but refused to quit. Welcome to my channel, The Business Building Diva, with me, Natasha James, better known as the CEO Speaks. Entrepreneurship is often glamorized, but the reality is that the journey is filled with struggles that test your resilience, your faith, and your commitment. Let's talk about some of the challenges we face as entrepreneurs. I'm going to talk about the uncertainty factor. Always knowing that at the end of the day, you don't get to go home and say, I get paid Friday. If you don't get up and you don't go and make it happen, you don't get to say, you know what, I got that security blanket up under me. No 9 to 5, no traditional work hours, no guaranteed paycheck, benefits, or stability. Every month, you're responsible for making sure that the bills get paid. Every day, you have to make sure that you are making the right decisions. You have to be the one to make the tough decisions and saying, hey, keep or let go. You have to be the one to stop and sit down and think, you know what? Is this worth it, or is it more beneficial for me to take on an additional job to cover my expenses on a day-to-day basis? The emotional toll of uncertainty can be very heavy. There's a lot of sleepless nights, believe me, and a lot of tears that is shed on a regular basis, especially in the early stages when you are fighting to stay alive. You've sacrificed everything. You've given up your life savings. You've done everything. So this has to work. And that's the mindset that you have, is that I can't give up no matter what. Then you have loneliness and social isolation. You are working so hard to build that legacy that you dream so long and hard for. You don't get to say, you know what, I'm gonna not do whatever it is that's pressing right now so that I can go and hang out with my friends while they party and have a good time. Typically, as an entrepreneur, you are the only one in the circle that's chasing a dream. So your friends and family members don't always understand the struggle. They don't always understand the financial sacrifice. They don't always understand the dynamics behind what it is you do. People think that discounts are easy to give. They don't realize that at the end of the day, the products that you buy and sell, that the person that you buying it from ain't giving you no discount. They don't realize that every product has to pay a bill. They don't understand that at the end of the day, if I don't sell 15 of whatever it is that is going to be, that my lights don't get paid. And if I give you one, that can make or break my light bill. They don't understand that. They don't realize that you have financial issues that come along with being an entrepreneur. All they see is what they see on the outside. She have on a polo top. She got on Nike tennis shoes. She drive a BMW. She got on a Gucci bag. She out shopping all the time. Nope. They don't realize that it took you 25 of whatever it is that you sell extra to be able to go and buy it, and how hard you had to work to sell those 25 extra whatever it is that you selling or whatever it is that you're doing to make your money to go and make that purchase. People don't see the financial struggles or the risks that you take on. Let me come and use your building, but somebody want to come in and party in order, and for somebody to come and hurt themselves and then want to cause a lawsuit and sue you because you was being nice. Those are risks that we take on. Those, the financial risks, the hardships, all of that. People don't realize that we are bootstrapping every day. Everything, every day. We have to decide if I'm going to splurge or save. Am I going to use my credit cards, or am I going to try and take this cash money that I have and spread it out? Do I want to take on any additional loans because I don't know if I can afford them? I don't want to get caught up in being in a whole lot of debt behind my business. I've already taken out my life savings. I've already done all of the other things that I need to do. And if anything happens, I owe everybody in the world and can't pay them. I don't want any additional loans. So we typically don't know how to go and use other people's money to make money. That comes with time. That comes with being educated in the field of business. But we don't always get those opportunities right off the bat. Becoming a profitable business doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes it don't happen for a few years. But people don't see that. People don't see the days where you feel like you can't even go to McDonald's and get you something to eat because every dollar is accounted for. Yes, it is constant balancing, it's constant thinking, it's constant reinvesting yourself wisely, it's trying to figure out how I'm going to pay myself, it's learning to manage all my finances to make sure that I am doing everything that I possibly can to keep my business self-sufficient and financially stable. With that comes a whole lot of mental and emotional stress. Those emotional battles will take you out sometimes. When I say, as a business owner, I don't know anybody that haven't dealt with a depression. Because I'm definitely not going to sit here and tell you that I haven't. Hell, I'm going to tell you right now, I might be in a depressed state right now. Because everything is on me. I'm constantly thinking about imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, the fear of failure, the pressure to succeed. How can I lead to all of these things can lead to stress and depression, anxiety takes over. How is the constant thinking of what I have to do, when I have to do it. I have 20 employees that I'm responsible for. So I'm not responsible for just my house. I'm responsible for 20 other households. So when I lay down at night, I need to know that I've done everything that I possibly can to make sure that those 20 households are going to be able to do what they need to do. Because if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, there's 20 other households that's affected by it. That's a lot of stress on me. I could just only imagine what large corporations deal with on a day-to-day basis. When I think about all of the money that I spend, I'm constantly thinking that if I take $5,000 this week, is everything going to be paid? Do I have this to cover for next week and a week after that before I take this? I just constantly, so when you think about who's affected by your decisions, it makes you think, can I do this? Can I not do this? Do I want to do this? Should I do this? When I think about all of the things that we as entrepreneurs deal with, the biggest one for me is making sure that my families that work for me that's the one thing that I don't want lingering over my head, is that I am the reason somebody didn't have what they needed because I made a poor decision. I don't know how to deal with that. Sometimes things are out of your control. I am a Medicaid provider. So when I think about what the insurance companies are doing, there's nothing I could do to rush them to pay me. So sometimes I have to think about things along those lines. I have to think about what climate we're in right now. We have jobs, but there's a lot of people being laid off. And right now, the uncertainty of what cuts are coming down the pipeline is like, what's going to happen today? What's going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to affect me? If it does affect me, how is it going to affect my employees? If it affects me, what am I going to do in reality of whatever it is that I need to do? That turns into a lot. And a lot of people are talking about these federal jobs being cut, but they don't realize that those are the only jobs that's on the news that are being talked about. There are so many other jobs that are being cut that are not being talked about in the healthcare system. I am seeing so many different things that's happening right now. Like, it's so unreal. And we have to really be cognizant of what we're doing, when we're doing it, and how we're doing it, because at the end of the day, these are things that we cannot control. Being an entrepreneur is not for the weak. It is not. It is so, you have to be so spiritually connected, in my opinion, with your higher power in so many ways, because this is not something you can do alone and just off of your strength. When I say I go, I have a lot of prayer time. I have a lot of prayer time. When I say I have to sit down and I have to see God's face on a regular basis, I'm a Christian, so that's my belief. And I'm speaking from a Christian standpoint. I don't know how anybody else that's not a Christian would deal with what their higher power is. You have to have something that you rely on to help you to navigate being an entrepreneur. The universe and whatever it is that you do, whatever case may be, is not my business. But I'm a Christian, so I'm speaking from a Christian's perspective. My day consists of lots of prayer, lots of seeking God's face, lots of dying to myself to make sure that I am doing the things that I need to do, to make sure that I am being obedient to God's will. Because I do realize that I am on assignment in the job that I do. This is what my purpose is. And I believe that God put me here to serve his people. So my job is to serve his people. And that's what I plan to do every single day that I open my eyes. So with that being said, we think about work-life balance and the struggles of what it is that we need to do. We think about how entrepreneurship often blurs the lines between work and our personal lives. That part, I can honestly say that I have not allowed work to get in the way of me being a parent. As a matter of fact, being an entrepreneur has allowed me to raise 4 amazing kids. One, I have a set of boy-girl twins. Those are my babies, and they are spoiled right. All 4 of my kids are spoiled. They have been almost raised as 4 only children, as people would tell me, because they can't see how I was able to individualize them in their time that I've spent with them. But that's what entrepreneurship has allowed me to do. It has allowed me to be present in their lives 100%. I have learned to manage to move everything around so that I can make sure that I was able to be in their lives for their most important, whatever it was that they needed me for. I find time to vacation. I find time to spend with my husband. We make time to date. We make time. We are new empty nesters. So at the end of the day, both of us is walking through the door at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm typically at home prior to, but he's definitely going to be home by 7. That is our time together. And we don't really sit down and talk about business as much as we probably should, but that's not what we do. We talk to each other about things that we need to talk about. I don't have very many friends, so I don't really have to worry about that, but I do make time for sorority life. I do make time for networking events. I do make time to hang out with the associates that I do have. And I do think that I use that time very wisely. So these are a few of the things that I find that many entrepreneurs struggle with in their day-to-day task of or their journey to entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to talk about some of those things and kind of give you some insight on the grace we should give entrepreneurs. Many times we don't understand the dynamics behind what entrepreneurs do and why they do it. But just know that there's a lot of hard work behind becoming an entrepreneur. And for all of the hard work that they are doing to provide the services that they are providing, many times they don't come with a book of instructions, and they don't have the person that's guiding them to make them be the best that they can be. Everything is a lesson, and you have to learn along the way. So when you see the entrepreneur that's just starting out and they have made a mistake, don't go to YouTube or to Instagram or Facebook and blow them out. pull them to the side and give them a little heads up and say, you know what, I appreciate the service, but this could have been done a little bit better in regards to whatever it was that caused you, that you wasn't happy with. It's always a way to do something. We give McDonald's, we give Burger King 75,000 times chances over and over again. Let's give that small business owner that same opportunity. So with that being said, if this resonated with you, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And leave me some comments down in below. If you are a new entrepreneur and you have been struggling and you just don't know what it is you're doing, when you're doing it, or how you're doing it, and you need some guidance, let's talk about it in the comments. You guys have an amazing day, and don't let this journey stop you from getting where you're trying to go. Every day is a sacrifice. Every day is a test. Just remember to keep going.